Good day, everyone. This is Road to and Through College, presented by Mr. Corbett. So this year, I'm going to be unveiling two streams of presentation, one on paying for college and the other on preparing for college. This is the first presentation on preparing for college. Now, students need to prepare for college in a variety of different ways, particularly with the college application. There are 5 components. Grades, which is GPA, the grade point average, and this is by far the most important component. Students will also need to write essays. They will be taking standardized tests, particularly the ACT and the SAT. They will have extracurricular activities and recommendations. All of these 5 components will be on the application. So throughout this presentation, I'm going to be talking about each of the components and informing all of you about what students should shoot for. So for grades, GPA, grade point average, this is important because colleges can learn about a student's work ethic and academic ability from his or her grades. How will the students fare when given a difficult course load? The essays are a chance for the colleges to get a little to know more about the candidate and more about the student. They want to know how the student will fit and contribute to the college. Test scores are an unfortunate, easy metric for colleges to compare students' academic abilities. Standardized tests, and this is very important, they do measure intelligence, but a very, very specific form of intelligence. Extracurricular activities, sports clubs, organizations, community service, and church participation, so forth, and recommendations. They allow colleges to know more about how the student is going to perform in class. Are they teachable students? Students will need 3 recommendations, 2 from teachers and 1 from his or her counselor. So here's the reference points for grades. These are the things that you as parents should inform your children and students as well. This is what you need to aim for. This is also exactly what I'm telling students as I meet with them throughout the year. Students should always aim for A's and B's. A few C's won't kill an application, of course, but they are to be avoided. F's will certainly hurt an application, but the most important thing with F's is you will not receive the high school credit for the course. So always shoot for A's and B's and try to bring those C's up to B's. The letter grades A, B, C, and F are indicated on the transcripts, but a student's GPA is calculated using the percentage. For example, an 88% is worth much more than an 80% to a student's GPA, even though both are B's. This is exactly how it should be. An 89% should be worth much more than an 80%. A student's GPA is by far the most important component that colleges examine. A GPA is the best indicator of a student's success in college. Their job is to work hard in school, to take tests, to do homework, to study, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing in college, and that's what they're spending the most time on. So, of course, colleges are going to favor the pursuit, the activity that students are spending the most time on, which is studying. GPAs above 3.0 will give students many options, and the higher a student's GPA, the more opportunities students will have for scholarships, for financial aid, and for more colleges and potentially future jobs. Reference points for essays. There's no quantitative mark for which to shoot for college essays. All 9th grade students will be writing preliminary college essays to prepare for their senior years. They will be receiving feedback on their essays through their AVID class. Last year, all 10th grade students wrote preliminary college essays. Although there's no quantitative mark, students can be preparing for these by improving their writing and working really hard in their humanities and ELA courses, and especially learning from teacher feedback. The reference points for standardized tests. For the ACT, all 9th and 10th grade students will be taking the ACT benchmark tests. The test is out of 36 points. The lowest score is a 1. The average 9th grade score last year was around a 15, and the college readiness mark is a 21. For the most selective colleges, students should aim to get in the upper 20s or above a 30. A score above a 21 is exactly where the student should be if they want to go to college, if they want to be successful in college. A score lower than 21 may warrant a student to take some remedial math and English courses, especially if they go to UTRGV. The SAT. 10th grade students will likely be taking the PSAT, that's the preliminary SAT, actually practice SAT this year or next year. It is out of 1,600 points. The average 9th grade score is about a 750. A college readiness mark on the SAT is around an 1,000. For the most selective colleges, students should aim to get above a 1,350. So some reference points for other test scores. AP tests, we're offering 5 for all high school students. Some students in 10th grade are taking 3, but every single student is at least taking 2. AP scores out of 5. A student can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Any score above a 3 is passing and may be considered for college credit. There's some schools that will take it, some schools that maybe are a little bit more selective that won't. That being said, students will get 1s and 2s. This is the majority of the scores. AP classes are very, very rigorous. Growth in AP scores throughout a student's career in high school will be looked upon favorably, and so that's why getting a 1 or 2 should not be considered failing. All students are on their way to becoming college ready, especially if they receive a 2. There's also 4 tests that students must pass in order to graduate, which are below: biology, algebra 1, English 1, and English 2. The reference points for extracurricular activities. Students need 125 hours of community service during the 4 years of high school. And other activities besides community service, there are no quantitative measure for extracurricular activities. But as a general rule of thumb, quality is much better than quantity. Students want to see, colleges want to see students' passions and activities. They want to see the students devote their time to things that they are really, really passionate in, not that they join 12 different clubs and do all these small different things. Reference points for recommendations. Students will need 2 recommendations from teacher. Preferably, a student gets 1 recommendation from a humanities or English teacher, and the other will come from a math or science teacher. This will indicate to colleges that the student is well-rounded. The counselor recommendation. Students will also have a counselor recommendation as well. So for students, be nice to your teachers and work hard in all of your classes. Your teachers will eventually be advocating on your behalf in the college application process. So this was my first presentation on stream number 2, preparing for college. And this is the end goal. Not only that students make it to college, but they also make it through college and they graduate. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, you may contact me. I respond best to emails and text messages. I get a lot of 956 calls. Thank you very much and have a good day.